Hi there, and welcome to Sistaco. My name's Chantel, and today I'm going to be sharing with you all of my favorite tips and tricks while we walk through your very first Sistaco application. So grab your set and let's get started. Sistaco offers a range of sets for you to get started. Today I have with me our Sistaco Deluxe set. So let's go through some of the things included. Inside your Deluxe set, you will find our beautiful marble LED lamp. With our LED lamp, all you need to do is pop up the legs like so, and underneath you will find a blue film. Now this is our mirrored section, and this film protects your lamp during transport. So what you want to do is just take the film and lift it slightly from the edge and peel that film away, and you can see underneath that gives you that perfect mirror. So that's how we want to start with our lamp. Your lamp is also USB, which means it can be used anywhere in the world and is great for travel. You will get your USB cable included in your set, and all you need to do is pop the end into this part here, and then the USB part into a plug, and you're ready to go. Underneath your LED lamp in your Deluxe set, you will also find your express remover. We'll chat about this more later. Your Deluxe set also comes with your application instructions. This is a fantastic little guide for you to take anywhere with you to go through the steps of applying Sistaco. In your application and system guide, you will find all of your application instructions and also a section for tips and tricks and some of the great information about the products that Sistaco sell to support your set. At the back, you'll also find a great section for you to write down the color mixes that you've experimented with. We'll get into that a little bit more later, but you can mix all of your own shades with Sistaco. Next in your Deluxe set, you'll also receive your base and top coats. All of our sets come with everything I've discussed so far. Our Ultimate and Deluxe set come with the 15ml base and top coat bottles. They also come with our Design Your Shade pots. These are absolutely fantastic when it's time to experiment and mix your own colors, as you can store and create your own mixes in your custom pots and keep them safe. Our foundation set comes with our double-ended dual applicator, and our Deluxe and Ultimate set come with our Mineral Bond applicator, which is also double-sided. And now onto the fun part, the colors. These are all completely custom to you, as here at Sistaco, we allow you to build your own set. Our colors come in 3 different finishes: holographic, metallic, and classic. We'll go into those a little bit more later. All of our Sistaco sets come with an LED lamp, our base and top coats, an applicator, and colors. Our base and top coats are really special. They're completely non-toxic and 16-free. And what that means is we've removed 16 of the harmful chemicals typically found in nail products out of our system. The other great thing about our Sistaco liquids is that our application brush is actually made for precision. As you can see, the brush here is an oval shape, which means that it can get into all of those little corners of your nail, whereas typically nail brushes can be flat, which makes it really difficult to get to the edges of your nail. These are our Mineral Bond pots. At the bottom, they will show you your color name and application type, and they come with a beautiful crown top. Each of your Sistaco Mineral Bond pots will do up to 30 full manicures. It may not look like a lot, but it goes a really, really long way. Remembering that we want to keep our coats extremely thin for longevity. Each one will also come with our protective seal for first time use. You will be peeling this off. And then after that, it has inside a little white lid. Now, a lot of people think that this lid doesn't need to be kept and can also be thrown away, but actually you should keep this lid as it keeps the powder nice and stable within your pot. Like so. This is our marshmallow. As with our base and top coat bottles, all of our nail powders are completely non-toxic also. We have 2 types of applicators here at Sistaco, our dual applicator and our Mineral Bond applicator. This can very much be personal preference. In our foundation set, it comes with our dual applicator, which has the brush on one side and the pad on the other. The pad is for holographic and metallic applications, and the brush is for a classic application. On our Mineral Bond applicator, you can actually use both sides for both our metallic and holographic application and the classic application. It may sound daunting, but I promise it's so easy. Our Sistaco Mineral Bond system is so easy to use, and our colors are extremely versatile. They can be layered, they can be used in a two-tone ombre effect, either vertically or horizontally. There are so many possibilities and different ways to do your nails. One of the hardest things that our customers say that they find is choosing a color. Today, I'm going to be showing you a really easy application method for beginners, and that is following our holographic and metallic application. My personal favorite color and our best-selling color is rose gold. This color is completely timeless. It works with everything. It's an everyday wear color, but it's also very unique and will have people questioning, how much did you pay for that manicure? Let's get into it. For our application today, I'm going to be needing our base coat, our top coat, our LED lamp, an applicator of choice. I'm going with our Mineral Bond applicator, and the color of choice, rose gold. All I'm going to be doing is taking the protective seal off the top of my rose gold powder, like so, and that one we don't need to keep. Next, I'm just going to be taking our little lid off, and as I mentioned before, hang on to this one. You'll want to pop it back after you've finished. Before I get started, I'm just going to walk you through a few other items that you might want to add to your collection, which I'll be using today. The first one is our pedestal. This is completely Carrara marble and has this removable lid. The great thing about the pedestal is it actually steadies your hand, so essentially you use it and sit your nails on top when doing the application. We find this is really great for having additional precision when applying the powder. The other great thing is this is our special great design on the top here, so any excess powder will fall through to the bottom and will remain in your pedestal. What we find is that customers will be able to create custom mixes from any of the excess that they create when applying, rather than actually throwing this away. So I highly recommend the pedestal for that purpose, and I'll be using it today. The second item is our precision magnifier. If you struggle with your eyesight in any way, this can't be looked past. It's completely compact for use on the go and also pops up like so. At the top, it has a magnifier, so you can see how great that is when you're trying to do your nails. It also has inbuilt lights as well, so basically you can pop them on, look through the top, and apply for a perfect manicure every time. I highly recommend the precision magnifier. In cooler climates, our base and top coats may become slightly thicker. What we suggest is to warm them in some warm water. If you have a mug, put slightly warm water in the mug and submerge your bottles, not over the lid, but just up to the top of the white. Leave them in there for at least 30 seconds. Please note, the water should not be boiling or hot. It should just be a little bit warm. This will thin out your top coat or your base coat for ease of application and to make all of your coats very thin. Our holographic and metallic colors have two different application methods. You can choose to use them for short wear or for long wear. Short wear is a really great solution for people who can't use nail products at work. This means that they can have really funky fun nails for the weekend, and then when it comes to Monday, there's a very quick removal process. Nail prep is really essential when using the Sistaco system. You should be ensuring that your nails are free from any oils or residue. Washing your hands is really great with an oil-free soap and then drying your nails. The other thing as well is nail prep is very personal. It really depends on your body, genetics or makeup, how much prep or how little is required. Some people have oily nail beds naturally, and therefore a little bit more prep is required. We suggest taking a very fine nail file and just buffing the surface of your nail slightly. Like I mentioned, this isn't required in all cases. It's very much trial and error with what you know about yourself and how the system wears on you. When using your nail file, you should only be slightly buffing the surface of the nail. It's a common misconception that we want your nail surface to be smooth. We actually would like to provide a slightly grippy surface for the Sistaco system to attach to. This, again, like I mentioned, is not necessary for all of our customers, but if you find that you're seeing a little less longevity to your manicure, this is a fantastic step to follow. You don't want to be rubbing in a very fast motion or with a heavy hand. Just a very light buff is all that you need. Just make sure that you cover from base to tip. There's some other great things that you can do for nail prep. One of them is clipping back your cuticles. This is really great to ensure that you don't actually touch your cuticles when using the Sistaco system, as Sistaco should only be applied to the nail in order to achieve longevity. One of my favorite tips and tricks is to keep 2 millimeters away from the outside of your nail bed. This way, you won't get an unnoticeable lump between your nail that will cause lifting in the future. This is the rose gold powder we're going to be using for our application today. It is beautiful and holographic. It gives the most multi-fleck color you've ever seen at the end. So let's get started with our application. Today, I'm going to be doing a long wear holographic application. So that means I'm going to be starting with my base coat. With our base coat, I'm going to be taking the brush out and actually wiping off the excess on the neck of the bottle. It's important you do this from the inside rather than from the outside. When applying any Sistaco liquids, it's very important that you're doing a thin coat. So let's get into it. So all I'm going to be doing is just taking the base coat, like I mentioned, and actually running down the middle of the nail first, and then applying to the left and applying to the right. This is the best way to get a precise finish. When you're doing your nails, if you have any oil residue on the nail bed, you will see little pits start to form in your base coat. That means that the base coat is interacting with the oil on your nail bed, and it's time to cleanse your nail beds a little bit further prior to application. Nail bed shape does depend on the person. Some people's nail beds are flatter, some people's are more round. If your nail beds are round, when you apply your base and top coats, you might see that they start to spread into the direction of gravity, as you can imagine. If your nail beds are like this, we highly suggest that you go through the base and top coat process a little faster and try to get your hand under the light as quickly as possible. Otherwise, you will see splitting in your application. When using your Sistaco lamp, you can press once and that will be 1 minute. If you press and hold, you will have a 2-minute timer set. The great thing about the Sistaco lamp is it is going to automatically switch off when it's ready, so you don't have to actually get a timer out and check when it's finished. I'm going to finish off the rest of my nails and then we can jump into my tips and tricks for your powder application. It's not necessary for you to do your nails one by one. I very much suggest going over all your nails with your base coat and then all your nails with your top coat at the same time. Again, obviously following that structure of down the middle and then to the left and to the right, we find gets the best results. If you find that you have any pooling in your cuticles, it usually just means the brush wasn't wiped off enough prior to applying, or your application has been left a little long before setting. What I suggest is just grab a little tissue and with the nail of your thumb, just go over your cuticles with the tissue down the side to create that perfect finish. It is always better to do this prior to setting under the lamp, as then it's easily removable. It's very important not to keep your base and top coats close to the lamp, as they do have a glass neck. And if they're close to the light, you will find that they'll set around the screw part of your bottles. So when you're finished with your base and top coats, make sure you seal them right up and pop them away from the light. We get a lot of questions about how to do your thumb. There's a couple of options when setting your thumbs. You can either do the thumbs on your right and left hand at the same time and pop them on the edge of a table to set like so, and straight under. The other option as well is to pick up your lamp like this and actually cup your hands like so and then set like this. A lot of people as well will lean their lamp facing down and do the same thing. I personally find that I can do this motion with my hands and get all of my 5 fingers under at once, but it's very much a personal thing. Remember, everything with Sistaco Mineral Bond should be thin coats. So now I've done the thin coat of my base coat and top coat and set, the nails should feel completely dry. But if I was doing a classic color, my nails would actually not be dry. So there is a difference. Sometimes people get confused with this. Let's jump into using our powder. I'm going to be taking, like I mentioned, our Sistaco Mineral Bond applicator and popping it in the powder like so. Less is very much more, especially with our holographic and metallic powders. You can always build up your color more, but it's a little bit more difficult to take color away. Again, for longevity, start with something very small and we're going to buff that into the nail. And I'm just going to be going down to my nails and actually applying it from base to tip. The great thing about the Sistaco system is you don't have to worry about getting any of the powder on your skin, as it's actually not going to stay. Look at that. If you would like more depth of color, we don't suggest to just pile more color on. What we suggest is to actually apply a second layer. This typically isn't necessary, but if you do need to, then for a holographic and metallic application, you can just apply a top coat, set, more powder, and then a top coat again. For a classic application, you would just apply your base coat over your powder, and then more powder, and then a top coat. So I finished applying my powder for my rose gold application. It's looking really good. I love it. So what I'm going to go in now with is just my top coat again. So taking our top coats, and like I mentioned, same thing, you're going to be wiping off that brush really heavily. This coat you want to be very, very thin. Make sure you wait for the liquid to actually run down to the base of the brush before you wipe, so that you can get it all, and when you're applying, there's not more liquid running. And what we're going to do is we're just going to jump in and pop our top coat in the same manner as we did before, down the middle. And that is going to just seal that powder really securely on your nail. One of the reasons it's very important to not apply too much powder is that your top and base coats should meet through the powder. If you apply too much powder and your top and base coats don't meet, that's where the mineral bond won't hold. So, like I mentioned, a thin coat of every stage. Once I've completed this, I'm just going to be popping it under my lamp again, and then we're actually done. So my top coat has set, and I'm just going to go and wash my hands. Basically, any excess you may see is just going to fall off, and we're going to be left with the perfect finish. This is it. The perfect rose gold application. I love them. They feel really strong, and that was so easy. So all you want to do is repeat the same steps for the other hand, and you are ready to walk out the door. The more you do it, the quicker you get at it as well. And here it is closer up. The perfect holographic metallic application. Look at those rainbows. Wow, these are amazing. And it was so easy. Now you are finished with your first ever Sistaco application. You might be wondering, what next? There are so many things you can do with the Sistaco system, as I've mentioned. You can start experimenting with ombres or even glazing your colors with our glazed powders, which is an overlay over the top to change any of your powders into a beautiful metallic finish with the most beautiful color flecks through it. So if you're looking for inspiration or more tips and tricks, we highly recommend our Sistaco Collective Facebook group. There is over 55,000 people in there ready to share everything they've learned on their Sistaco journey and show you things that you will go, wow, I want to try that. The aftercare of your Sistaco manicure is also really important. Your nails are jewels, not tools. So make sure you're not using them to open cans or do different things like that. Although, if you join our Sistaco Collective Facebook group, you'll see that many people in there have had great success, even gardening and doing heavy labor tasks with their Sistaco nails, as long as they're following those longevity tips and tricks I've given you in this video.